Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Attainments from dhikr. In other words, what is attained from dhikr? What virtues are bestowed upon the one who does dhikr or dhakir? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. الذين يذكرون, those who do dhikr in all situations, standing, sitting and lying down, they will achieve to view the world as artwork of God. They will be able to see the reflection of God's unimaginable magnificence and beauty reflected in the mirror of the world. So that is الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهِ. They will achieve the virtue that in the creation of the heavens and earth and everything in between, and in the variation of day and night, they see nothing but artwork, creativity, generosity, and graciousness of God.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله. As a result of abandoned remembrance of God Almighty, they will achieve contentment, happiness, satisfaction, tranquility in their hearts. Obviously, mankind is intrinsically looking for contentment, tranquility, which are all contained in the word itminan or tatma'innul qulub, and they seek contentment of the heart through hundreds or even thousands of methods, most of which are worldly and physical and material. But God Almighty connects this satisfaction or happiness and tranquility of the heart with repetition of His names. So this is like a formula given to us that you have all your worldly comforts, but all that makes the 50% of your needs. The other 50% is related to a connection with God Almighty, which is achieved through repetition of His names.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ أَعَدَّ اللَّهَ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةً وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. The man and the woman who remember God Almighty in abundance. Remember, the word here is kathira. وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ. God Almighty has promised them forgiveness and a great reward. Ajran azima. So the word azim, and that coming from God Almighty, the owner of the entire universe, must tell you that there's an immensely great, unimaginable reward beyond our comprehension for those who do dhikr. That's associated with the ones who do dhikr.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله. And they feel the pleasure, the unimaginable, great spiritual enjoyment in their hearts from dhikr. And that enjoyment is a gift of God that has granted it to those who do dhikr or remembrance of God. And God Almighty bestows it upon whomever He wills.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
إن أخلصناهم بخالصة ذكر الدار. As a result of remembrance of God in abundance, unseen becomes seen to them. The existence of paradise gradually become a reality to them. And because paradise or the everlasting world becomes a reality to them, things in this world do not impact them as much as it used to in terms of happiness and unhappiness. Things in this world stress us, but these people see the world as a temporary place and they see the everlasting world so near to them and upcoming. So it does not stress them as much as it does others.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا لقيتم فئة فاثبتوا واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. So when they encounter an obstacle, whether it's physical or non-physical, by physical I mean a bad person, an enemy, or let's say, God forbid, a criminal, and other obstacles in the world, or they encounter obstacles within themselves, such as an undesirable feeling, a feeling of sensual gratification, a feeling of anger, jealousy, and so on. By constantly doing dhikr, they will get rid of these inner obstacles and the physical obstacles, such as, like I said, a bad person or a harm in the world, will be removed from their path.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم. Those who do wrong actions, harmful actions, against the rules of religion or against the rules of the civil law, such as cheating, lying, engaging in illegal sexual activity, and being unjust towards others, oppressing others, in anything. أو ظلموا أنفسهم. And as a result of dhikr, they feel darkness within themselves, which indicates that they have done something wrong. Therefore, they immediately engage in dhikrullah. For example, they start saying La ilaha illallah, illallah Allahu. Then after having done dhikr for, let's say, an hour or two, and then they immediately proceed to asking God for forgiveness. So this is what the ayat sharifa says, that although you have done something wrong, but you noticed it and you engaged in dhikrullah. So as a result of dhikrullah, you see yourself having done something wrong and you regret it, and therefore you ask God for forgiveness. God Almighty will forgive you. So not only He forgives you, but look at this. You did something wrong, and just because you asked God for forgiveness, God Almighty not only forgives you, but He gives you
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
أولئك جزاهم مغفرة من ربهم وجنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. God Almighty gives you paradise. Imagine, you did wrong things and now you should be punished. You should be deprived of paradise. God Almighty grants you paradise because you engaged in dhikrullah and you proceeded with astaghfirullah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وذكروا الله كثيرا وانتصروا من بعد ما ظلموا. So this is about the impact of dhikr on your actions and words and on your faith. It strengthens your faith and it purifies your actions to be accepted by God Almighty. So these were some of the attainments of dhikr. Hopefully you ponder on each of these verses and derive a lot more meaning. Thanks for your time.